So my 2023-2024 season has concluded, well, like since the beginning of May. And well, there's been a lot of things that happened, good and bad. And yeah, I'll just walk you through my life in the 2023 and 2024 seasons. First, I would like to give you a channel update. I kind of stirred away from the track and field side just because I feel like the self-development stuff is more important for you because track is entertaining, right? You got to see me do other stuff in track, how to train, and my friends. It's kind of like entertainment, but I want this to be more of an education for you because I care about you and I want you to improve your life. That's why I've been making these kinds of videos. Well, not this kind of video, but like the ones you see before this, because I want you to be better. If you rock with the personal development content, then stick around. If not, it's okay. There'll be some training videos because it's the summer. I have more time, somewhat more time actually, to film my training. I'm not restricted, so stay tuned for that. My summer training will start this coming week after this has been recorded. So anyways, let me take you back to the fall. So after school started, we had the fall training. You know how the NCAA rules changed where they count days instead of weeks? We had training days with our coach, probably like 2 to 3 times a week. I was rocking with that for a couple of weeks until October hit. So I believe this was like end of September, beginning of October-ish. That is when I injured myself. So learn this thing from me. Don't repeat the same mistake like I did. That semester was tough. I was taking 5 to 6 classes. I don't quite remember, but I know that the work was pretty hard and it was a lot to do. So that day I barely slept. I slept like 3 hours. I believe it was either a Tuesday or Wednesday, but we had lift. And I was sluggish, I was exhausted, I was tired because I didn't sleep, and my reactivity was low because I didn't get enough sleep. So mind you, I was just dead tired at that point, even during the workout and when we went to lift. So I arrived, we did lift. I think the first or third exercise that we do is hang cleans. Usually I'm not that good at hang cleans because my grip is pretty weak. Like if I had used wrist straps and I cleaned, I could definitely clean a lot more. My deficit in this lift is my grip. So I was doing hang cleans. I believe I increased my weight by like 10 pounds because I wanted to try new weight. Especially in fall, you want to be progressing your weight. So I needed to increase my weight, but mind you, I only slept 3 hours. So put on those, 25, 45 plates on my bar. I chalked up because I'm sweaty. It's a fall. Then I did the first rep. And then the second rep came up, and as I was going up, the bar just like fell out of my hands, it was slippery. And since I didn't sleep enough, my reactivity was terrible. So I was only able to get my right leg out, but my left leg, I don't know why I didn't jump, but my left leg took the blow of the bar right between my kneecap and my quad. So it's basically in that quad tendon area. Took that 185-pound load, bam, right there. And that was probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I think in my mind at that point, I just knew I was done, I felt like I broke something wasn't wrong. It was bad. Like, I felt like I couldn't even bend my leg, which I couldn't. My lift mates, they were confused. They were kind of like, yo, what happened? They're kind of in shock. Lift coach was mad at me, understandable. But yeah, I just couldn't get up. I needed help to get up. Thank you to the lifters who helped me with that. And yeah, I went to the trainers. I was on the bench. I was just talking to myself. I was wondering, like, man, I did all this summer training up to this point, and now all of it's wasted. And my season is potentially wasted as well because I don't know what has happened to my knee. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, damn, my season might just ended right here. And it's just painful. Like I started to feel dizzy, nauseous. Thankfully, I got water at that point. It was just bad. The trainers also tried to have me contract my quad or at least bend it, but I just couldn't. It was painful, a lot of swelling, and there's a lot of uncertainties which just made me doubt a lot of things. And yeah, it took me about a month. It took me around 2 to 3 weeks for me to learn how to contract my quad again. Like the first week, I just had to manage the swelling. I just couldn't contract my quad. Second week, thankfully my roommates were watching Star Wars, so I just, okay, even though I should be doing homework, I just sat on the floor, put an ice bag, well actually a pee bag on my knee, and after that, I just tried to contract my quad the whole time. Like I was using my brain, and I was like, contract quad, and I would use my right leg as a reference to contract it, then I'll do my left leg. And that took a while. And I think I was able to partially contract it like 2.5 weeks into it. And then the third week, I was able to like fully somewhat contract it for a little time. But yeah, after that with PT, everything was good. I mean, right now there's still a little bit of scar tissue. I feel it, but I was 95% there. Did a lot of PT. Then I started to run, and it was good. Obviously, we slowly progressed into the training. Wasn't intense, but that was around like September. This was injured October, so November. That means I only had a month of training before the indoor season started. When indoor season started, I honestly was surprised. Like my season opener, although it wasn't the time I wanted, it was better than last year's. So this was at the Armory. I believe last year I ran 7:34, but this year I ran either 7:32 or 7:30, something like that. I don't quite remember, but it was faster than that. The other meets, I didn't run any 200s until later, but my 60 time was all right. And honestly, it was just the indoor season. I didn't PR at all. And weirdly enough, my 200s are terrible because I had no speed endurance until Last Chance, but I guess they call it Last Chance meet at Tufts. That was probably my fastest 60 meters. But in the 200 before Liberty Leagues, I think my friend Max told me a strategy to run the 200 because I was like, I keep dying. I just need someone to tell me how to execute this, or else I'm just not going to improve, right? So he told me how to run it. I just tried it, and it worked. I ran a pretty good 200, which is probably the fastest 200 I ran this year, this whole season in total. But yeah, I didn't PR at all. It kind of sucked, demotivated me, which then leads us to the outdoor season plus the new semester. And my new semester was hectic. It was 20 credits, 7 classes. One of the classes was just training modules, so I just did all of that in the first week, so I don't have to think about it later on, which was the smartest thing I've ever done in my life, because those training modules took a long time. I know a lot of people were still doing them at the end of the year, so I was like, I didn't want to be that kind of person who just rushes it, even though there's a lot of things that's going on, like finals and homeworks. I had those hard classes, 20 credits, mostly engineering. I had like one HOS class, which is like humanities class, which honestly it wasn't that bad. Just a lot of reading, somewhat participation, and just doing the work. So it wasn't bad. Just had a lot of things thrown at you and a lot of things you had to do. That is when outdoors started. The first meet was canceled. The second meet I didn't go because I wanted to keep my calf in check. So after spring break, which was in March, my calf started to bug me. So during the workouts, my calf just started to like feel fatigue and then start to cramp up a little bit after like the second rep. And I was like, I can't have this keep going on. So I started to get PT, which really helped me, which led me to have my season opener in the third meet, which if you've seen that video, you should probably know what would happen. But I ran probably the worst season time I've ever done. And that's how it is. Like I didn't sprint for like 3 weeks, and that's what happens. Plus those blocks were weird. Like, I don't know what Amherst is on, but those blocks are old. You can't adjust the height. Like, their campus is nice. They need to put more money into athletics, especially track, because they need new blocks. Those are unacceptable. I think the second meet, I ran a little better. I ran like 11.4, maybe 11.5, 11.6, somewhere around there, which then ties into us running at my last meet, at our league meet, 11.26, which is my PR, and I'm very happy about that. Now, I know you're wondering, like, how was your 200? Did you improve on that? And the answer to that is no. Like I said, I lacked the speed endurance. After that indoor season, I thought I'd be better. But when we hit outdoor, I just have no idea how to run it. I'm always tired, and I never get the times I wanted. I think it was hard for me to break 24, which is really embarrassing. And I don't think I've ever lowered it that much. Indoor season, I lowered it a lot, but in the outdoor season, I didn't. And That's something I want to sort of improve on. Like I'm more of a 60 and 100 guy, but it would be nice to have a better 200. But yeah, here I am. I'm still near my college. Got my internship, which takes up a lot of time, but it's really good. And my summer training is about to start. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this type of video, like me just sitting down, spewing some stuff, then let me know. Like the video, share with other people. Leave a comment down below on, what are you doing this summer? What are your plans? Because I would like to know. And if you haven't seen my season opener, then I'll link the video right here.